So at the ESC we showed for the first time that lowering inflammation with this interleukin-1 beta inhibitor reduces cardiovascular event rates in the absence of lipid lowering. But we didn't address the question, who really benefits the most, and can we predict who that benefit's going to be in? The data we're showing here has two real punchlines. The first is, I can't predict the benefit on the basis of usual baseline clinical characteristics. The women got the same benefit as the men, older and younger, that didn't really matter. But the biology here is exquisite. The magnitude of the IL-6 reduction, and then clinically the magnitude of the CRP reduction, is telling us who benefits the most. So we simply divided people in half, large reduction or modest reduction. The large reduction group, after a single dose, 31% reduction in all-cause mortality, 31% reduction in cardiovascular mortality, 25% reduction in the big cardiovascular events. And interestingly, the risk of this drug, the increased risk of infection, was equally distributed among all the patients. But the flip side was, for our modest responders, there still was a benefit, but it was much smaller. Hazard ratios only now 5 or 10% reductions. And again, as we're trying to balance personalized medicine, how do I figure out who the right patient for the right drug is? I might say, after one dose, I have a pretty good sense of who's going to benefit for long term versus who isn't. For example, the number needed to treat went from 57 among the modest responders to only 16 among the good responders. It's as if lower is better for inflammation reduction in a manner very analogous to lower is better for LDL reduction, with a twist. We're getting mortality benefits the lower we go. So it's a very exciting time for us. Right now we have proof of concept for one drug, an interleukin-1 beta monoclonal antibody. But I'm going to predict that within 5 or 10 years, we're going to have a flurry of new data. My group's doing a clinical trial with low-dose methotrexate, a very inexpensive approach. I won't have the answer for another 2 or 3 years. There's ongoing trials of colchicine, and there's going to be ongoing trials of some very novel ways of inhibiting this inflammatory response. We're at the very beginning of this process. But the insight that the lower the inflammation goes, the better the patient is going to also be able to titrate toxicity and probably cost. So this is beginning, in a sense, where we were in 1994 with the statins. The very first statin trial came out, 4S then. It took us a while to figure out how to do this. That's how we feel today. And as I say, it's good for patient care, it's good biology. I think that's the most important message. When the biology comes through this exquisitely, there's a signal there to follow.